Hi, this is Andrea for the Learning Bear Podcast, your resource for wild professional development. Today we're going to be reviewing another environmental education curriculum called Ecosystem Matters. So just a brief overview. This is an extensive manual that was published way back in 1995. It is a huge manual that encompasses water, lands, wildlife management, fire, and just about everything, pretty much. Although some things are a little bit dated, and you can tell that the make of it is from 1995. It's not high tech or pretty to look at, but the majority of the lessons and the information is still solid. The activities in this manual are mostly hands-on activities like group work and stuff. Some of the activities do not require any supplies at all, which is awesome, and are in fact more like interactive experiences. And I have to be honest, they were a lot of fun to read, and I can't even imagine what they would be like to experience firsthand. I'm going to share one with you momentarily that I really enjoyed, and I felt like I was there just reading it, and it was really cool. I liked it. So the bonuses about this manual is that it's largely timeless, regardless if it's 30, 40, 50 years old. A wetland is a wetland, a habitat is habitat. The large bulk of the material in this book is not going to change. Now, again, it's not pretty, it's not colorful, but the content is solid and very well written, easy to follow. It's not mucked up with a bunch of decoration. It's just straightforward content, and it's great. And it's just really well organized. It's thoughtful. I really liked reading the introduction. They related it to use a cookbook. You get a new cookbook. What do you do? How do you find something you like, don't like, that sort of thing. It was really cool. And it just felt very personal, and it drew me in. I have to admit, I really liked it. I like that it's low maintenance. There was a point in my life that I really preferred one manual in my repertoire over another because it was bright and it was colorful and so forth. I think I've come to realize that it's not really the colors and it's not really the flash and bang that makes it interesting to me. It's the content. So regardless of what it looks like, it's great, and it offers a huge range of activities. There's a lot of flexibility within this manual where you can use all of it. You can use parts of it. It could be a standalone activity. It could be a part of a bigger lesson plan. There's just so many opportunities in this manual. And something I noticed that's relevant in current manuals that I have, like Project Wild, Project Learning Tree, and so on, they were already talking about 21st century skills before the 21st century. They've become a really big thing when I've had to market Project Wild or Project Wet or Project Learning Tree to groups that they want to be able to teach their kids analyzing, compare, contrast, problem solving, all that stuff. And this manual already has it. This is in 1995. That's awesome. That just proves how valuable this material is and how timeless a lot of this material is, honestly. Now, the downsides of this is it is old. And because it is old, a lot of people are not going to give it a second look. People want it to be up to date. They want it to be flashy. They want it to be colorful. And a lot of times when it comes to marketing, you need those things. You need it to be bright, colorful, and flashy so that you can attract attention. The downside, too, is it's out of print because it's so old. So I did find an online document of it available through Eric, which is a document service that I've used in college, but I found the PDF file through that. And I have to be honest, I really like to have physical books in front of me because I like to make notes and put sticky notes in and bookmarks and so forth. I like to do that, but with technology the way it is, you can modify a PDF document and so forth if that's your thing. To me, it didn't really, usually it detracts for me reading something online. I don't get as much out of it, but I was so drawn in with the introduction and how to use this manual that it didn't even matter to me that it wasn't a physical book. I was so captured just in those initial pages. And I don't even know what possessed me to read those initial pages because I usually don't pay them any mind. But for some reason, I started reading them and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. So downside, again, it's old. It's out of print. For some people, that's okay if it's online. It's too bad it's not in print anymore. I would totally buy it. I did check on Amazon. It's not there. Otherwise, I really couldn't find any real downsides. So one activity I really, really liked a lot, I was totally drawn in. I totally bought into the activity. And I could see myself being there when this activity was taking place, having a good time. It was called A Happy Forest. And in this, there's one person who's a storyteller, and the rest of the participants, students, are trees in a forest. And throughout the story, the storyteller picks on different people periodically, and they turn into a deer or they turn into fire or whatever. And basically it's talking about why fires are necessary for a forest. And it was really awesome. And there's somebody that I've worked with in Florida that I could 100% see being the storyteller. And I think that's what got me. I had this nostalgic feeling reading it. I think it would also be a really good icebreaker or kind of a fun group project. Everybody could be trees, and you could manipulate the story, 50 different ways. You could have everybody be a type of animal or a type of bird or whatever. It was really, really cool and really well written. I don't know how you would memorize it, but I feel like the right storyteller, like the person I have in my mind, would be able to pick this up and run with it so quickly. It was so awesome, and I loved it. So as I've developed a sort of routine here, I have this rubric that I've been using for grading these curricula, if you will. And this one gets high marks right across the board. The structure of this and content of this manual are awesome. I wish it was still in print. I would love to get my hands on a print copy of this. But the content is solid, even though it's old, even though it's black and white. It's not, appeasing to the more modern eye, but the content is solid. It's so well written. It's so well organized. It's very clear, the teacher part, the student part, the materials, what they're learning, what skills they're learning, the vocab, everything. It's great. The structure, again, very good. Fluid, flows from one activity to another. And what's really nice is you don't have to have any crazy degree to teach it. You don't have to teach all of it. You don't even have to teach 5 lessons. You could teach one lesson that does what you needed to do and just forget about the rest of it. It's great. I think it totally meets its objective to get kids involved in environmental education. I think it's very relatable to a lot of teachers because it's easy to implement. And that is one of their missions, is to make it easy to implement and not require a lot of supplies, but still be able to appreciate our environment and ecosystems and so forth. I think a lot of the lessons are incredibly creative. Now, some of them, I will admit, are adaptations from other manuals that I know, like Project Wild or Project Learning Tree, and that's okay. There's no original thought anymore, I'm sure. So that's just what it is. But I love that they put these low maintenance spins on really complex ideas. Even there's an activity that talks about water, and there's an activity like that in Project Wet that's much more high maintenance, requires a lot more supplies, and this one's very easy and gets the same point across. And I thought, man, I wish I had known about this activity when I taught that other activity a long time ago, because this is so much easier. So I give it 100%, 20 out of 20, top marks across the board. I really liked it. I can't say enough positive things. It was really, really good manual. And if you can get your hands on it, please do, because I think you would like it.